What's up, everybody? It is Matt from Lectric All Wheel, and today we have the Lectric XPedition. This is a 750 watt rear hub with dual 10 amp hour batteries, 48 volt, 20 by 3 fat tires. The neck actually folds, and this is a cargo bike with some capacity for you to carry the load. We are going to install some electric all-wheel Brownwall tires on this bike, as well as the electric all-wheel aftermarket throttle kit for Lectric. It includes grips, full length, and then a thumb throttle kit for your electric bike. We're going to show you the install and then put some new tires on here. This is a precursor video to our dual battery video that will be available for this bike. We have our cables in production for the connection on the balancer as well, so look forward to that. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out e-bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, go for a ride with your e-bike friends. Here we go. Make sure and clip these loose before you get your tire prepared to take off. Disconnect that. I may try and I'm going to push this in by shifting up real quick, and then I'll bring it back down again. So I know that my other side is loose, so I'm just kind of going to get a handle on this thing so it doesn't fall. And then so right here, I'm loosening this up enough that this plate can slip over the derailleur hanger where it attaches. Now, just loosening it up. And this is that difficulty was a product of this block being in the way. So for all of these, I have modified this flat out stem removal. It comes with the bottle of flat out, and I sliced off this, or actually I just broke it off at the time, but it keeps it so it's shorter, and then it allows you to fit in here because the motor from the middle of the axle to the stem will obstruct your ability to get a wrench in there. So keep that in mind. It's a cheap plastic body, and then this metal part goes down in there, but I'll leave a link in the description below for flat out. I anticipate there's slime in these tires, but I use flat out a lot. And then I have some of these tire removers. They're just plastic, so you don't obstruct or rip into the tube and ruin your stuff. Yeah, I can hear the slime. I can feel it too. All right, these tires do come with tubes, but we're just going to reuse the one that came factory. When you're doing this, keep in mind drive side, right side, and then there's a tread pattern on these things, and then it's very faint, but on the sidewall there's a rotation arrow that'll tell you which way they need to be pointed. Rotation, and then there's a little arrow right above my fingertip. Point being, the tread should look like they're diving in to the water. So as they rotate, they're diving into the water over the front. So that means we're going to install them with the tread pattern this way. Rotation will be this way. You can see drive side, right side. And I'm going to go ahead and get my tube stem into it, and then I'm going to put my cap back on, and that helps me keep the tube in place and from coming out. And then I'm just going to push it through. I don't want any folds like that, so just be conscious of it when you put it in there. You just kind of want it to lay inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my tire on this rim. So now I'm going to take this cap off. Put my valve stem in. Make sure the little spongy stick end is out. And screw it back in. You don't want to over tighten this. Tight is tight. At this point, I'm just trying to get form to the tire, and then I'm looking around the rim to see how it's going to sit. I'm probably going to have to add some more air to this to get it nice and firm, but my goal is to not tighten it up all the way or fill it up all the way until I have the tire seated the way I want. So I'm looking at this edge around the rim to make sure that right here is uniform all the way around. It's looking pretty good. Both sides, no slip out. So I'm going to pump this up, and the pressure rating is 25 to 45 psi written here on the sidewall. Put my cap on. When you're looking down at the wheel, the backside, the torque arms for this thing that are at the dropouts, this is going to be towards the back, this is going to be to the front. The most important thing is to slip your caliper over this disc, right? That's what you're going to be focusing on first. So make sure that the caliper gets on the disc in the frame. The first move will be to put this side axle inside the chain so that you can get it around the derailleur. And then your next focus is getting this disc into the caliper. There's that. So I know that 7, or actually it's on 1. So our original selection was 7, but we backed it off to get it in. So now I'm going to lift up, bring the derailleur around the chain. Be mindful of here. There are 2 spacers that go back, and then there's an orientation, and then this silver piece goes up to where you can put the screw into the fitting here and attach it to the frame. There you go. So now I'm just going to use this nut and let it kind of rest right here on this hanger. You remember that from removal. Get this screw in there. There's that. There we go. Now we know that that's hanging. We're good with this. I'm not going to tighten it down. I'm going to put the bike on the ground and let it sit itself, and then we'll tighten it. Make sure and plug in my connectors, and then I'm going to redo my zip ties. So I shifted the bike into first before, so it's on that top freewheel. That'll get you more clearance with your derailleur as you're tightening this. So remember that this plate is the first object on the outside of the dropouts for the bike. All the other stuff is on the inside of the frame. Now I'm going to give my last tighten to the screw. For this one, just like the other Lectrics, there's this little hanger here, there's a little hole in the vertical, and when you undo this nut, it allows it to hang. It's really handy while you've got it on a rack. We don't, so I'm just going to take one of those blocks and put it on the fork whenever they get this off. And we're going to perform the same actions for the front wheel. Done. So my focus here is again the disc. I just want to make sure to get the caliper or the disc inside the caliper on this side. So be careful, and that's your main focus. Align for the disc, and then put your axle into the dropouts. Roll this up, and then just slip it into the hole, and then bring these down. There we go. Inside the disc caliper, or inside the caliper, the disc went fluidly. That's my main focus when I'm doing this. Get the hangers on there, and then once that's done, tighten it all down. Okay, for these, I like to make sure and keep the Lectric caps And then for a lot of these, it's just kind of brute force. There it is. So right there, that is the Allen screw to loosen this throttle. So that's loose. And this came out. Now I'm going to unwrap this down to the connector for the throttle so I can take it off. Found my throttle cable. Here's the connector. I'm just going to unplug this. And if you look, it's a Gillette 3-pin. There's 3 tiny wires inside here, so just be careful with that. All right, here's your twist throttle, and here's the insert for that. It goes in this end. Now I'm going to take my electric all-wheel kit. We don't need the extension wire in there. That's there just in case it's been frayed in some way or it's needed by anyone getting the kit for the XPs. But we're just going to take the throttle out. So here we go. We may have to loosen some of this and then scoot it over a bit. So what we're just going to do is slip that on there. And then we're going to take our grips from the kit and go ahead and put on the right hand side, and we'll check the measurements. So that does look deep enough, so it looks like we don't have to move anything. I'm loosening this so that it will slip over the bar. There we go. And we're looking for the flush end right here on the grip, or the end of the handlebar. So make sure and do your adjustments for your grip. Make sure it feels good. And go ahead and tighten that down. And then remember, you still got to tighten your throttle, and there's an Allen screw here that you tighten to make the body affixed to the bike. So at this point, you want to know where the rotation is in relation to how comfortable it is for your thumb to be depressed. And I'm going to start there. Okay, now I'm going to bring my cable out. And I have some excess length, so I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and give some more room. There are my 2 arrows. Plug them in. So now I'm going to take this loop and then just kind of bring it together and wrap it into the cable wrap. Now I'm just going to take my left hand, go ahead and loosen it up in anticipation. Slide that on. I'm going to move this over. I can feel in the end that it needs a little bit more room. There we go. Check fit, make sure it feels good, matches the other one, and tighten it down. I'm going to take my 2 Lectric caps and put them back in. There we go. Here's your thumb throttle test. Perfect. Well, there you have it. We have successfully installed these 20x3 street tread Brownwall tires on the Lectric XPedition, and man, they look good. A lot of this was aesthetics for us, so keep that in mind. We have also installed the electric all-wheel thumb throttle kit fit for electric e-bikes. This does not work on the X Premium. That bike has been discontinued, but if you think you might try it, it does not work on the X Premium mid-drive. The kit does come with matching grips for both left and right hand side, and they look quite nice on this bike, as you can see. If you haven't already, give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. It is our primary, and if you're in the area, check out E-Bikes of Tampa Bay, Florida. Get in that Facebook group, make an event, and go for a ride with your friends. We will be doing a multi-battery combination for this Lectric X Premium. We have moved into a partnership with Date X2, so we're pretty excited about that and look forward to that video in the future. Check out links to all the products for the XPedition in the description below and the icon links from YouTube. We really appreciate Google for doing that. And also, if you like these red chairs, contact George. Information is in the description. We will talk to you next time.